Welcome back to Dinosaur Island. We're not here to the forest of herbivores. We're here to the barren lands. The most coldest ever and bare as ever. This is known for its signature 20 degrees, sometimes less than that. Animals have adapted to this cold weather. So let's get started. We're following a pterodon to its nest. It is going to fall asleep here. Here we see a new creature, a Majungasaurus. It is one of the new creatures we will be seeing this whole island. It has adapted to the freezing weather, but is trying to find food because he has never found food for about a month now and is dying from starvation and no water, because this dry land has no water whatsoever. As far as you look, no water. It is adapted to the very, very harsh and cold weather. Moving on. Here, we see a dead carcass and firework. He has actually lived here his whole entire life and has gotten used to the cold and how bare it is. Even the slightest meat can be a helper. But not much is left. It is mostly spoiled and bones. Even the tiniest meat can be fought over. Firework is being stalked for the tiny food he has. He's being stalked by the new creature named Saber. He's one of the most dangerous creatures on here. Well, the second. And it has adapted to the cold weather and no water. He has been stalking firework for 2 days. And now it's time to strike. Stomping on him, biting him. But really wants the food, and he steals it. But since nothing is left, he's made some exceptions. By the time he's gonna make the coup de bras. Firework gets up and manages to knock him over, and he goes, making a run for it, but trampling over because they have heels here. He is trampled over, but it is not going to stop him from keep looking for food. Back to Saber. Here we see Saber feeling defeated. It is going to look for more food. He's actually going to his home. He's going to his home where the Rex nesting ground is. This is where all carnivores nest, no matter how big and no matter how small. Here we see a mother female Rex who has finally had a baby that hatched. But is starving because no food. The parent can't leave the baby, but it has to for food. While the mother leaves, the baby is here left alone. But what the mother Rex doesn't know is that Saber is back to his home. He sees the tiny snack he can have. And kills the baby. And roars in victory. And feast. But in 2 bites, the baby is already finished. Saber goes on. Back to his home. He's the last of his kind, but is very deadly. He lives right here. He never dug a nest. He doesn't need to. And he goes to sleep. Going to sleep here is a very dangerous thing, but he still has to do it. The mother comes back with a successful hunt, but to find the baby gone. The mother knows that the baby's dead and is going to try next time. But she still has food, so she eats it. Moving on. Here we see a Giganotosaurus. Stalking a little stegosaur across, if it can focus. A stegosaur has been wandering, but the Giganotosaurus has been stalking it for 2 days. And finally has gotten close enough to strike. But not yet. For some weird reason, she is waiting. As the stegosaur goes and eats over here the tiny herb who has just grown. As the second steps go, the Giganotosaurus finally strikes, hitting the spines, but finally getting it. She has made a successful kill and eats it. Almost leaving nothing behind, but she needs to go somewhere. She goes. After the Giganotosaurus goes, she comes back for some weird reason. She comes back and is going to lay some eggs for her next generation. And then she starts to be laying an egg. That's it, actually, because around here, having an egg is so dangerous. She'll defend it with her life. Moving on. Here we see Mud and Fireball. We finally got to the barren lands, but it is actually pretty cold in here. Mud has been keeping a good pace, but Firework over here is not. The cold is getting to him and collapses. Mud goes over and checks. He knows that the Dilophosaur, Fireball, will die soon over how cold it is. He gives him one final goodbye and leaves. His last sighting. And dies. Well, we don't know if he died yet, but we'll never know. Mud goes over devastated of what happened, but still needs to go on. The cold is starting to get to him too, because they're not ready for this harsh coldness, or how dry and how less food there is. But he sees something. Over here, he sees a stegosaur. He's so desperate that he goes, not knowing what danger he's in, and strikes. The stegosaur turns around and hits him in the back of the leg. But it doesn't stop him. He whacks him with his tail and makes the final blow. The stegosaur is dead, but with his really bad wound, he might die. Mud is going to check and drag the food to Fireball because he doesn't want his friend to die. Mud finally drags it after a long journey. Mud waits for Fireball to eat. Fireball tries to get up, but is very weak, but still goes and eats. Mud joins in on his feast. Next time on Dinosaur Island.